Hello everyone, my name is Kenneth Pham. I'm here today with my blackbird. I feel like my brother was doing it with him, but he likes me more. So anyways, I will be going over the miracle morning, the not so obvious secret, guaranteed to transform your life before 8 a.m. So I think last time we ended off at chapter 3, the 95% reality check. So basically, and he starts off by saying like every day, and like everyone wakes up at some point, and we all face everyone's challenges to like overcome mediocrity in their life and to live our true potentials. Like people want to get rid of all like the bad stuff, but they just continue to do it. Like I don't want to gain I want to lose weight, but then they don't actually do anything about it in order to lose weight. Okay, anyways, so basically that's been our like human challenge ever since like a long time. Everyone to like people had trouble facing success like over basically almost the whole history of humans. And he says that unfortunately most people never actually come close to reaching success. He says approximately 95% of our society settles for far less than what they want in life. People say, I want a Bugatti, but then they really don't try to get the Bugatti and settles for a Honda Civic and continues to do nothing but get enough money just to get the Honda Civic. So, if you, or like, let's say you want a job, right? So, like most people, like when they're younger, they determine what job they want to become in, like, or what they want to be in when they grow up. So basically, then like, if you always wanted to be that job, then like, how come you're always hating your job every day? Some people they hate their jobs, and then sometimes like they just hate it so much they can't do anything, and they wish they got paid more. So you should have thought about that ahead of time when you're a kid, like so you can actually like let's say you want to be something, that means you'll be working on it just to become that thing. But most or some people they just like hadn't decided yet, and then end up with a job that they just don't like at all, and they just cry like, oh, I'm so poor, and never asking themselves how can they become rich or like get out of their situation. He says that according to the Social Security Administration, if you take any 100 people at the start of their working careers and follow them to the next 40 years until they reach retirement age, so here's what you'll find. So he says that only 1 will be wealthy, 4 will be financially secure, 5 will continue working, not because they want to, but because they have to, 36 will be dead, and 54 will be broke, dependent on their friend, family, and all that. I think we talked about that like I think in a Rich Dad book like a long time ago. We never act well not a long time ago, but we started it on the book report, but I never actually finished the book report. So he says that only 5% of us will become successful creating a life of freedom, while the 95% will just struggle their entire lives. So basically, the subtopic he's going to be talking about is rising above mediocrity and joining the top 5%. So he says that if you're reading this book, it tells him that you're ready for the next level of your life, and that you're okay for not, like you're not okay for settling less, and you want to become like the best you can be, or even be better. Technically, if you're better than the best you can be, that means that technically that's the best. So, okay, anyways, so step 1 is acknowledge the 95% reality check. He says that first we must fully understand and acknowledge the reality that 95% of our society will never create and live the life they really want. We must embrace the fact that if we don't commit thinking and living differently than most people now, we are just setting up ourselves just to endure a life of struggle and like averageness. So he says that being average means to settle for less than you truly want in your life. And every day they continue to do the same thing over and over again. Most people settle and they just struggle every time like they're at a stage one, they're struggling on that, and they expect to make to step two, even though they can't master step one. So he said that you should consider the following: physically. So basically, obesity is an epidemic. So basically, you don't want to be obese. It's unhealthy for you, and it'll lower your like lifespan, I guess. It depends on what you're eating. And the average person is exhausted, and the physical levels, energy is all like super low all the time. And most can't seem to generate enough energy to make it through a single day without consuming a few cups of coffee, 5 hours of energy. I don't know why. You guys are old. Maybe it's easy because I'm a kid. We get hyped up on the orange juice and the Gatorade and soda and candy. So, or like some people can't make it through a day without taking a nap. Look at you. Okay, so you also want to consider like your mentality and like your how your emotional. Wait. You want to consider yourself your mentally and emotionally. So the more prescription drugs are being consumed every day, is to combat like disorders like depression and anxiety and all that stuff, and to support mental or emotional illnesses. So, but rarely do you turn on your TV without seeing an ad for some medicine, like pain relief stuff, or antibiotics. But there's like usually some good-looking middle-aged couple are gonna fly a kite with the beast and the dog, and then he's gonna have all these things, side effects, all that. So you want to make sure you're healthy and emotionally and mentally, so you don't have to, so you can prevent taking those medicines or prevent getting depression or some disease in the first place. You want to consider the following. So first off is physically, mentally, and emotionally. Next is relationally. So basically, a lot of people nowadays are getting divorces, mostly in America. Like a lot of marriages failing. Yeah. So basically, he says that with 1 and 2 marriages failing. So in other words, over half of those deeply in love couples who stand before their friends and family and commit to the lives of each other, through the good times and the bad, might he reminds you that struggle to make it work. He says that after more than 30 years of marriage, the two of his favorite people, the mom and the dad, recently divorced, and he's he has pain to that and all that. I don't know why people divorce. Oh, maybe they're unhappy with each other. So make sure you don't marry.
They grow apart.
Yeah. Make sure you don't marry each other unless you know exactly that you're perfect for each other and you know your relationship is strong.
You have to know what you want before you get married.
And once you get married, you might want to do everything that you can to keep it strong. Doesn't mean you have to do whatever the husband said or the wife says, but try to make sure that everyone's happy. Yeah, and you'll be fine. What do I know though? Because I don't have a wife yet or girlfriend yet. Anyways, so you also want financially. So Americans have more personal debt than any other time in history. So maybe that's why reaching $1 million net worth is so hard to do. I always thought people's net worth is
it's a mindset. Okay, don't say it's hard.
Yeah.
How you do it.
The thing is well, back then when I thought what a net worth is, I thought it was just all the money they had and stuff. But then I forgot to subtract their liabilities and expenses. So if no one actually subtracted their liabilities and expenses, everyone's net worth would be in millions. That's why I thought of my parents. They're like, "Wow, your net worth is so much." Then, oh wait, expenses. Wow. So now when I look at celebrities with only $3 million net worth, I'm like, hey, that's a lot still. And African American's net worth is 50K and like 90K and below, I think. Yeah, 50K below. I don't know. So, basically, that people are spending too much, and like people don't know how to use a credit card and all those things, and that's why they blame the credit card for being so bad. But the thing is, the credit card isn't bad. It's only the person that using the credit card is bad. Same thing with like a gun or a knife. Technically, the credit card is more of a knife, but like still, it depends on the person using it. So people are spending too much to get their paycheck. They blow it all away on booze. Well, not all, but like some people. Flat screen TV. You don't need a brand new TV. Just get one at like the yard sale. I think that's how I got a TV once. I mean, it wasn't the best TV, but like still. Anyways, so people don't know how to manage their money right, and so he says that step 2 is identify the causes of mediocrity. So like once we acknowledge that 95% of our society is selling for like way less than they're capable of, and they're always struggling and all of that, it's kind of like the next crucial step is to understand why people are struggling or you're struggling to do things. So then you can prevent it from happening again, or to prevent it from getting worse. Yeah. So he said that if you were to ask average person in this country, 40 to 50 years old, that's like middle-aged people, they're always settling less for than what they want, and they're struggling to be happy, pay the bills, and even more because they don't have a plan in life. They have the mindset of go to school, get a job, retire. That's like the old days now, but now kids are getting smarter, or some kids are getting smarter. Yeah. So he says that if 95% of our society is not living the life that they want, we must figure out like what they did wrong and what they did that wasn't right in the first place, so that we don't like live up into this area of like normalness, averageness. Yeah. So, his definition of success is that he wants to get out of bed every day to find the truly love of his life, like things that he loves in life. He wants to love his work. He wants to love the people he shares his life with, and be financially free and all that. That's his definition of success. Well, his definition of success varies from people to people. Maybe some people's success is.
What's your definition of success?
Like mine, being rich, happiness, finding, having good kids, a wife. Charging, if my parents want to move into a house that I have, $3,500 rent and up, finish that. Yeah. So, basically, there's many causes of mediocrity, and he says, and here's your solution. So, one of the causes of it is rear view mirror syndrome. See, I don't know what that is, so he's gonna explain that. So, one of the most crippling causes of mediocrity in life is a condition he called review mirror syndrome, or RMS. So basically, he says that this subconscious minds are equipped with this self-limiting rear view mirror. People have this thing that this shouldn't go ahead and this should stay in the safety net. So basically, as a result, people filter every choice that they make, and from time to time we'll wake up in the morning and then we're like, oh, that goal sucks. We're gonna erase that. Or like, wow, those people were stupid. Like, how can they do that? The stock market's so risky. Like that. So, basically, he says that research shows that on any given day, what was that? Oh, anyways, so we have between 50 to 60,000 thoughts. I don't know how they came up with that or how they knew, but so the problem is that 95% of our thoughts are the same ones that we thought the same day before and the day before that. We're always thinking to the past. Like, sometimes you get, when you're just sleeping or something, and then you remember you said something really stupid to a bunch of people thinking that you're right, but you turned out you're wrong, and then you're in your bed, and you're like, Well, I'm older now. They probably forgot about it. Whatever. So, basically, we keep digging and stuff, and we never change like our way of life. These, like old worn baggage. We carry stress, fear, worry, from yesterday into us today. And basically, he says that he never cheated. Like people say, like, no, I never done anything like that before. I never achieved that level. In fact, like I failed time and time again. Like people keep failing. That's good in some cases, but the people just give up way too early. So basically, if you are to move beyond like your past and transcend to like your limitations, you must stop and living out your rear view mirror, like you know, a car it looks back. You don't want to keep looking back.
Mm-hmm.
Not literally. You kind of want to look back in the car, but in your life.
Not stay at the back.
Yeah.
If you look back too long, you might bump into something different.
Yeah, it can stop you from. Yeah. Basically, so don't place unnecessary limitations on what you think on your life. Like people always feel like there's so many limits to them, but that's mainly because they're placing it on themselves. You don't want to continue to put on like unnecessary things on yourself that just waste your time and drag you down. The next cause is the lack of purpose. Many people like don't have a purpose in life, or they don't know, or like they lack purpose in doing it. The cause of getting success. So he says that if you ask the average person what the life purpose is, you'll get like a funny look at like I don't even know. I don't know how fun, or like I don't know the good. So basically, an average person cannot articulate. It's just in the book, articulate. I'm not the type of person that uses those words. So basically, they can't articulate their life purpose, and they don't like know why or why they're doing anything in life. So basically, rather the average person takes on life one day at a time, just counting down the days. And yeah, so they have no higher purpose than merely just surviving, because life is just kind of like a survival game. You get one chance, so you might as well like make it good. Like whenever you're playing, like let's say a video game, a survival video game, you never see some player that wants to be stuck at such a low level. You always want to see these people you always want to be higher and higher so you can at least have fun. Or you can have to do better than everyone else. So basically, like if you're like most people are good at video games and all that stuff, but only if they can do that in real life. Just think of it as life as one of your video games, not the first person, like not the one that kills you, but like the survival games. Yeah. And you don't want to stay at such a low level because that just thing. Or not a lot of things are going to be dangerous to you, or not a lot of things will kind of wreck your career or what you're doing in life. So basically, during the course of his 7-year career in direct sales, despite broken numerous company sales records, he spent the first 6 of those years fighting the uphill battle of mediocrity and losing more often than not. His results were inconsistent, and he consistently accepted that is far less than his best. It's kind of like you can either get a Bugatti or let's say a Honda Civic. Most people would want like the Bugatti, but then it's kind of like life. People want to get success, but the thing is they're going in there blind. And they don't know what they're doing there, and they just get lazy. It's like getting the Bugatti. Like, yeah, you can take the free Bugatti, but the thing is that most people don't know what it takes to maintain a Bugatti, or what it takes to maintain and get to success. Because Bugattis are expensive to maintain, and just one scratch on your car, you're done. $25,000 out the window. So basically, people have a lack of purpose in life, and up until like a few years later in his life, he didn't really have purpose until finally he felt depressed, and then he had the motivation to feel happy, and he didn't want to be stuck in this zone that most people are in. So he says that to defeat this cause of mediocrity, you have to have a like purpose, and it can be whatever you want. If your life purpose is to, I don't know, be a middle class person, sure. No one's stopping you. And yeah. Another one is your isolating incidents. So one of the things, like not so obvious causes of mediocrity, are isolating incidents. Like, we always do this when we, like, he says that we do that when we mistakenly assume that each choice we make and like each action we take is gonna only affecting that particular moment in circumstance. Basically, for example, he gives an example saying that you may think that no big deal to miss a workout, procrastinate on a project, or eat fast food because you get all a good do over tomorrow. But you make a mistake of thinking that skipping out a workout only affects that incident or that time, and you'll make a better choice next time. But the thing is, that's how a bad habit starts. You miss one day, you're like, oh, it's fine. Then you're like, oh, it's okay. It slowly goes down from there. But the thing is, every action we make will affect our future. Like, if you just miss one workout, that's like a few calories that you could have lost right there, but you just didn't choose to lose it. Okay, so every time you do like easy things instead of the right thing, you're shaping your identity, becoming the type of person who does what's easier than what's right. Like, you don't, like, people always aim for easy, but the thing is, would you rather like take like a super easy test at school, or just take a pretty, not too, like a pretty good difficulty test? Like, even if you ace the easy test, no one would care. But if you at least did okay on the harder test, you'll still do way better than the person that aced the easy test. Like, if you get a super hard test on the question on your final, even if you get like a few questions right, it's still better than some other kid that took like a way easier test from a way easier course. Yeah. So another example says that when the alarm clock goes off, we hit the snooze button because it's the easiest thing, and then it'll just go back on a few minutes later. But most people mistakenly assume that this action is only affecting that moment, like only one day. But the thing is, you're missing out on a few minutes or more on time, and like basically, we're already creating a bad habit. That's like a few minutes is already really worth. Like, if you miss a few minutes in your day, it's already kind of bad.
Right,
Yeah.
start. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you want to get like a good start in your day. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I woke up at 8 today. Not the best, but I woke up earlier than my parents. They slept until 10. Missed 15 minutes of church. Anyway, my grandparents wake up early though. They go shop. They're old. They can do whatever they want now. Doesn't even matter anymore for them. And they're still probably more successful than us because they don't really have that much liabilities. And yeah, they're not working anymore. They're already making some source of money. And yeah. Anyways, I think the last one we can go over for today is the lack of accountability. Yeah. So the link between success and accountability is like unrefutable. People like don't follow the credit score, like the credit score kind of bad, and like they can't be trusted sometimes with the money. So basically, accountability is the act of being responsible to someone else or some action of result or result. So very little happens in this world without some form of accountability. Like, someone's responsible for making the phone that we're recording on. You're recording vertically. It's not good compared to when you record horizontally. So that's her accountability. So if it's her to see me, that's her fault. Another is someone's accountable for, I don't know, making the world. God, Big Bang, whatever you believe in. Yeah. People are like with basically the link between success and accountability is irrefutable. How I said earlier. So virtually all highly successful people, from CEOs to professional athletes, to the president of the United States. Whoops. So basically, um, you want to embrace a they all embrace a high degree of accountability. Like every president in this United States, whether it's Trump or like some other like Bill Clinton or something, they all have a high degree of accountability. They're like basically accountable for the whole United States. So basically, virtual thinking, or like virtually every positive result you and him like produce from birth to like later on to 18 years old or something will affect your happiness. If you focus on positive things, you'll be happy. If you focus on negative things, you'll not be happy. Yeah. So basically, here's this thing like a lot of things that are to us accountable. There's wait, but thanks to accountability provided to us by adults like parents, teachers, bosses, all of that. Vegetables got eaten. I don't think my brother eats vegetables, to be honest. Homework was completed. Teeth were brushed. We bathed and like we got like health stuff.
Like you have accountability, right? Your mom. If not, why would you do all this, right? Checklist.
Yeah. So basically, accountability is brought over to our lives and allowed us to progress, improve on ourselves, and achieve results that we wouldn't have otherwise. So I think we can end that off today. So we have a website that like had a bunch of blogs that we made like a while ago, recently now. You can check that out. I forgot the website's name. What was the website's name again? I forgot.
Kenneth Pham.
Oh, Kenneth Pham, what?
Bob.
Blog.com.
Yeah. Mary posted on the bottom.
Okay, she'll post it somewhere. I forgot the website name because I hadn't found it in a while. We also have a YouTube channel called Kenneth and Cameron. Cameron with a K, of course. Yeah, so we have numerous other videos on there. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this video on the Miracle Morning, and I hope to see you in the next video.